What if everything you've been taught about money was wrong? Imagine having two fathers, one highly educated and broke, the other barely finished school, but filthy rich. Which one would you listen to? This is the true story of how Robert Kiyosaki learned the rules of the rich, rules your school will never teach you.
Robert grew up in Hawaii with two father figures. His poor dad was his real father, a man who believed in hard work, good grades, and a safe job. He was respected, but always struggling financially. His rich dad was his best friend's father, a businessman with no college degree, but an unshakable understanding of how money works. Over the years, these two men gave Robert completely opposite advice, and that's where the life-changing lessons began.
Poor dad said, get a good job and you'll be secure. Rich dad said, jobs are temporary. Security is an illusion. Learn to make money work for you. Robert learned that the rich focus on building assets, things that put money in your pocket, like businesses, investments, and real estate. The poor and middle class, they spend their lives collecting liabilities, things that take money out, like expensive cars, big houses, and endless debt. Poor dad taught Robert to climb the corporate ladder. Rich dad taught him to own the ladder. Even if you have a job, you should focus on building your own investments on the side. Rich dad would say, work to learn, not just to earn. Once you understand money, you'll never be its slave again. Robert realized schools don't teach you how money works. They teach you to be a good employee, not an owner. Rich dad taught him to read financial statements, understand cash flow, and recognize opportunities others can't see. Most people avoid learning about money, and that's why they stay broke. The more you know about money, the less you fear it. Fear and desire control most people. Poor dad worked for money because he feared not having it. Most people get stuck in this cycle. Fear of being broke makes them work harder, and the desire to spend makes them poor again. Rich dad taught Robert to break this loop, to use his mind to create income instead of trading time for it. By the time Robert was an adult, his rich dad's lessons had shaped him into an investor and entrepreneur, while his poor dad remained stuck in debt. The difference wasn't luck, it was mindset. If you want to be rich, change the way you think, and the money will follow. And in part 2, I'll share the exact steps Robert took to escape the rat race. Steps you can start today.